The first thing I'm going to do is I need a database in which I can use or utilize to do my querying and so on and so forth. So I think somewhere last week, I sent you people a dummy database called e-commerce. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I can add a database to my work. So I'm going to click on PHP My Admin. So as you can see, I am in PHP My Admin. It's opening up for me. 1 second, I think my database is off, so I'm switching it back. So now that my database is on, I can restart it. Okay, so over here, I have my server on and my database on. Let me zoom in closer. 1 second. Hope you all can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so with that, I'm going to click here to new, and the name of my database is called e-commerce. So here I will type in e-commerce, and then I'll click in create. So I've just created a database called e-commerce. We have done this. We have seen how we can create a database by writing code and by using the clicking approach. So we have done this. Now that I've created my database, at the top, I've zoomed in, but you can see the menu here. I'll go and click on import. And then I would navigate to where I can see my database. In my case, the database should be in my downloads. So the file in which I sent you, which contains my database files. So
Sir,
yes,
your screen is not showing, please.
my screen is not showing.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Is everybody facing the same issue?
We can see, you can see.
Because my screen is showing. So stop showing. I'll click here again. Share screen. So my screen is being shared. I can see from the
Yes, sir. I can see it now.
Okay.
Sir, we can see.
So I'll click on e-commerce and then I'll click on open, and we can see that the e-commerce folder .sql has been loaded here. And at the bottom here, I can click on import. So you can see that all the files that are in that SQL file would be imported. So I'm waiting patiently, be imported into the database file I have here so that I can run my database from there. Exactly.
Yes, sir.
So let us wait till it finishes what it is. Wonderful. You can see that all the SQL statements have been run beautifully. Everything in there has been run. And on the side here, I can see that when I click here, I am in my database called e-commerce. I have in that database categories, order items, orders, products, and users. Great. Now over here, I can click the menu again and click on SQL so that in here, I can type in the SQL queries in which I want to use. Are we okay? So in here, I want to first of all type a simple query that will allow me to see how many users I have. So in your offices, they can come. How many students are in the system? How many workers are in the system? How many drivers do we have? How many customers have come to buy something? How many transactions have you done? A word like that. How would you query. Now note, the query word there stands for ask. So I am asking the database, or I'm seeking information from the database as to a particular issue I want an answer. So in this case, I am asking the database, select. Now select is a keyword. So it means whatever happens, I can make modifications to the word select. All. So the star here means all. From. Now, after the from keyword again, I need to tell the computer the table that I am selecting information from. So from the users table. So select all the information you have from the users table. So it means that when I go and click on the button in which I have down here for it to go, it means that every single piece of information which has to do with users would be brought to me. And when I use the word every single piece of information, it means that in the users table, it has the columns user ID, username, email, password, and date in which was created. So for example, in your organization, if they ask you, I want to know how many users we have, their emails, and the dates in which they were created. So over here, I can go and click on edit. In here, I can tell the computer that select for me, are we okay? Select for me the user names. Remember, it's in small letters, so you must also make sure it is in small letters. So the username, comma, the email, comma, and the created date from the users table. So it means we are selecting 1, 2, 3 columns from the users table. So when I hit this again and I hit on go, you will see that what will be showing to me here is the username, the email, and the date in which that item was what? Created. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Please, if you don't understand, let me know now. Or forever hold your silence like a marriage.
No, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, Chairman.
Sir, please, I will be glad if you can go over it again, sir.
What am I going over exactly?
Concerning how you were able to create the email.
How I was able to create the email. I don't understand that.
I just joined, sir.
Oh, yeah, you
I
don't have
think
any question.
you want to ask how the importation was done, right?
But
the importation, bro. Yeah, the importation. Yeah.
He doesn't have any ground to stand on. Oh, class near. The class is supposed to start at 5 something. That tria by 7:30, so I know be a steady. Oh, 7:30 by the union. Wow, so I say you come back. Hey, I'm right here. Oh, I'm Jaisa. Yeah. Before mo pesado. When the time is a certain time, be on time. Stop this thing where you come late and have to drag everybody back. Let's stop. If those who are here are saying they don't understand it, fine. But you, the person who, you know the time. What time is the class supposed to be? 5:30. What time is it now? 7:30. So you mean 2 hours? You couldn't be on time. Hey, I don't be before what is that? Or I'm being unfair.
Bibini. Easy.
There it's recorded. So you when you get it there, you watch it. Because me, I'm not going back to that one cry. That one, I'm not going back.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hey, 2 hours, once that's why you late account. Hey, how that. Anyway, let's go back here. What I was saying was that I have already created a database. So there is a fully pledged database so that we can use that fully pledged database to do our testing and so on and so forth. Now, all you have to do is create a database and go and click on import and import the file in which I sent you. That's all. So when you create a database, then you can import it. From there, you have to ask the computer questions. And one of the key things we use to ask the computer questions to go and fetch information from our database is the select keyword. The select keyword is used to go and bring data from the database to us. The question is, after the select keyword, you must tell the computer what kind of information you want it to return back to you. In this case, we want the computer to return every piece of data in which it has. So when I press the go here, I am going to retrieve every single column of information I have. For example, if I only want to know the usernames and passwords of people, it means I need to tell the computer that it should select the information where the column name is called username, and then the column name is called what? Password. Note that if there are two things, I leave a comma, and the last thing, I don't bring any comma there. I don't add any comma to it or anything like that. And then after that, I'll bring the name of the table. This where one here means where everything is okay, but I can leave it out because it is presumed everything is okay if I leave it out. And then when I press go, you see that I'll retrieve information for the username and the password only. There are other information, but what I need now is just username and what? Password. Do we understand? Now, there are cases whereby you would want to join two tables together. For example, I want information from the users table and another table. Let's say the product table and the categories table. So over here, I have the products table. The products table tells me a particular product, the price of the product, and we have a last table, which is a foreign key of the category table that tells us the category ID. So for example, laptop belongs to the category called appliances. Are we okay? So it means that in the category table, I have an ID, that is the category ID, and the name of the appliance in which I am looking for. Okay? So that in the products table, I can just select a product ID, the name, the price, and add a category ID so that I don't have repeated values and my database is normalized. Now, if I want to display this to a particular user or I want to make a report, I can't say laptop 1, smartphone 1, the tablet 1. I can't do this. Because if I do this, the person taking it does not know what category is 1, what category is 2, and so on and so forth. So I have to join together the products table and the categories table. How will I do this? I would write an SQL query for it. Since I am going to retrieve information, the first word I will type is select. So the computer knows that it's going to retrieve information from the database to itself. The next thing I have to do is tell it where it can find the information that it is going to retrieve. So in the products table, so you see I type product, and I bring a dot, and I bring a dot. The moment I bring the dot, it tells me that the product table has product ID, product name, product price, and category. Which one do I want? I want the product name, comma. In the products table again. So in the products table again, I want to know the price of the item. Are we okay? So in the products table, so product, I want to know the price of the item, comma. And finally, in the categories table, I want to know the name of the category I am dealing with. Now, you can see that there is two tables we are dealing with. So when I say from over here, I bring the from keyword over here, the computer now has a dilemma. If I type in here that from the products table, so from products, what happens to the people from category? The computer will wonder, so the category, well, what do I do? So in here, I have to add the join keyword so that the computer knows that I am joining together the categories table. So the computer knows that I am selecting from the products table, joining the categories table. So now they are one. Now the question is, how am I joining the two together? When two people get married, they join with the ring. Whenever you do something in which two people have to come together, there is a contract. What is the contract? That is showing that products and categories are joined together, are combined together, are supposed to behave as one. What is that contract? So I'm telling the computer again that products join categories on where in the products table, and here's where the foreign key and the foreign key and the primary key come into play, where the products table so products dot category ID is equal to categories table dot categories ID. So it means that I am joining these two tables where the products ID is equal to the categories ID. Are we okay? Now, I can run this query here. So if I run it, you would see that the computer will go and pick information from the products table, from the price table, from the categories table, so that I know that a laptop is a home appliance, a smartphone is a home appliance, a tablet is a home appliance, and so on and so forth. So for the user or for the person using your application, he will think that this is one table. But in practice, there are two tables in which we have joined together using the join keyword. Do we understand?
Okay.
By the way people have kept quiet, you know that after the moment the class ends, there's a test coming, so that I'll see if you really understand. So take note.
Okay, sir.
Hello, sir. Please, can you go over the last query?
You can't test now, go over. Hey. Can I go over which one? Can I go over which one? You can't test now, go over.
Hey, chairman.
Boy. You can't test now, Charlie, go over.
The last.
Anyway, over here, when I come back here again, I'm going to redo this again, right? So I'm going to redo everything in which I just did here again. But this time, I'm going to use abbreviations because to retype this products, categories, table names again is a bit cumbersome. So I'm going to tell the computer some few things. And this is what I'm going to tell the computer. So over here, I'll right click and go to a new this thing so that I'll have this. Great. So I'm going to tell the computer that I want you to select everything from the products table. But moving forward, wherever you see P, I'm referring to the products table. And I want you to join the categories table. But moving forward, the moment you see C, you should see it as the categories table. Now, you are joining them on where P dot, you see that the moment I brought P dot, we can see that it has the same features of the products. Why does it do that? Because I've told the computer that wherever you see products, refer to it as P. Wherever you see categories, refer to it as what? C. So P dot category ID is equal to C dot category ID. That means in here, instead of me saying product dot, I can say P dot product name comma C dot category name. I've left out the price. So this whole statement I wrote can be written as this statement here. But you can see that with the abbreviations, it makes it very shorter and easier for me to write. So when I hit go here, we'll see that it gives me a reply that shows me the laptop, the home appliance, and everything that is supposed to be there. By the way, the notes for this has been sent to you. It was sent to you as a PowerPoint for you to try. The way things are going, I know you didn't try. I know, but I've kept quiet. Now, going forward again, let's try another joining statement. So here, I selected just the product ID and the name. Now, I want to go and select everything from the products table where the category name is called electronics. That is, I am going to tell the computer that, please, go into the products table. So let me just save this here. Great. Let me just come and click on edit here. So in here, I'm going to tell the computer that when you go to the products table, go and select everything you see there. Look at how I wrote this statement. You can see I wrote P dot star. We already know that star means all. So when I say P dot, where the P stands for a particular table. But you can see from here, there is no table here called P. So again, where does this P come from? P comes because we told the computer that wherever you see products, refer to it as what? P. So when I say P dot star, I'm saying products.all. So you're selecting products.all from the products table, joining to the categories table, where this is equal to that. Very important. But we are going to join the where clause. So it means here we are targeting and selecting a specific thing. If we don't bring the where, we are selecting everything in the table. Where everything meets our criteria, we are selecting. But the where allows us to say C dot category name is equal to electronics. So here, I am only selecting electronics. For example, if you are using Jumia and you go and click on, or let's say phones, the computer is technically saying that go and select everything from where the category is equal to what? Phones. When you go on Jumia and you select shirts, you're technically telling the computer that go and select everything where the category name is equal to what? Shirts. This is how information is retrieved for you to see. So when I go and I hit this go keyword here, over here, I'll see that in my application, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 products, which are electronic. That is the yoga mat, the dumbbells, the tennis racket, all of these things here have the category of what? Electronics. And electronics is category number what? 5. Can we see that?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions on that?
Yes, sir. Sir, please, what I'm lost is the expression where it said category equals category ID. That expression, I'm a little bit confused there.
Okay. Yeah, Daniel.
Yes, sir. Please, can you do P? Can you do the select without the P dot? Then you do or the asterisk from product without bringing the P dot.
Daniel, now let's focus on what you just said. Over here, you are telling the computer that it is selecting items from products and categories. Can we see that?
Yes, sir.
Good. So it means these two tables here have been joined as one. Are we okay?
Sure.
Now, if I tell the computer to select all without the P, what have I done?
Okay, so it will select from the category and the product table.
Very good. Is that what you want?
Okay, no.
So it means that here, when I go and press go, I will have an error whereby it will select category ID twice for me, because you can see that it has created a big table that has the product ID information and the category information too. So imagine you are building a system whereby you are dealing with payroll. Are we okay? Payroll. So you don't write your query right, and then it shows everybody's payroll and their allowances. Let's say you only want to show the people's payroll. The allowances, you want to hide them because when people see other people's allowances, they go haywire. If you do, or the allowances will come, people will see and they'll blame you that you have destroyed the organization. What you type after the select is very important. You must know what you are looking for. You must not leave it to chance, like how it has been left to chance here. That is why the P dot or is there, so that you know that you are selecting only the information that is in the product table. Daniel, are we okay?
Sure.
Now,
Thank you.
let's come to the other person who asked the question. The where clause. Over here, I'm going back to the users table. So here I'm in the users table, right? So when I say select from users, it means that I'm selecting everything from the users table. So here is everything from the users table. Over here, we have Alice. Are we okay? Alice has a username of this and a password of this. So over here, I'm going to rewrite this query again. I only want Alice. I only want Alice. So the where keyword allows the computer to select a particular function. So here I'm going to tell the computer where the username of the user is equal to this. So now I know that the computer will only bring back to me the location of where the username is equal to this. That means if I get anybody's email address who is not equal to this, I have an error. So when I press go here, I expect to see what? Alice over here. So here it's telling me that I have nobody whose username is equal to this. So I have no. So let's see why it is telling us no. Because it should be able to bring up Alice, right? So let's copy this out. Let's do one here. And let's click on go. Did we do something wrong? Alice, did we add something we are not supposed to add? We didn't add anything you are not supposed to add. So let's see what we typed wrong. So here,
I think
we said where Alice at example.com or
so where is username is supposed to be email.
the username is not at example, is Alice underscore John.
We selected yeah, right. So here it's supposed to be what? Email or
email, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So when I hit go now I can find what? Alice. Can we see that? So you can see that Alice, there are two of them. There is one at line username, one, there's another one at 8. Can we see that? Now, you people do something every day where you type your username and your password. So for that one, the computer will say where the person's email is equal to this, and at the same time, the person's password is equal to Alice's password is password 456. And then you hit what? Go. So you see that where the person's username and password, they match together, then we have selected that person. Can we see that? So on your computer screen where you type your username and your password and you press enter, this is the query that goes to check if you are an actual user or you are not a user. Every system you use, no matter if it is Google or whoever, this is what they will type to go and check if you there or you know there. We debug.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let's see some more of the join statements, but using other tables. Please give me 2 seconds. I'm coming. Thank you for your patience. So let's write another query. So over here, I'm going to write a totally new query. Remember, I'm in the SQL again. And in the SQL, I'm going to tell my computer, select. Remember, the select word is used to fetch information, right? O dot star, which means that I have a particular table in which I'm going to call O, and I want everything from that. And what table am I calling O? So select from the orders table, and we are referring the orders table to what? O. And we are joining the orders table to the users table. And we are calling the users table U. And we are joining them on where O.user_ID is equal to U.user_ID. So you can see how we use the foreign and the primary key. One table has foreign, one table has, and this is how we join them. This is how we do the relationships in practice. This is how we utilize the relationships. So in here, we are saying that we want to know where a particular username is equal to John Doe. So for those of you who work in a company that does transactions, this query here is asking this simple question. I want to know the username who has this that has done orders from our organization. So when I hit this go over here, I should see that there is no orders made by John Doe. John Doe has not come to our shop to come and buy anything before. Let's see if we have another user who we can use to see if they have come to buy something. So we have Alice over here. I can come here and then change this John Doe from this to what? Alice. Now, has Alice bought something from us before? When I hit go, it tells me that Alice has come to our shop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And for those 8 times, Alice came to buy things that was 10,049 oh, Alice has been doing well. She has been buying things from us for a long time. So you can see that I can go and pick the user from the users. The users table has only information about the users. The orders table has only information about the orders. But when I join the two, then I can know who is making an order and when that person is making an order. For example, over here, you can see that I can see the order ID, but the user ID is 1. So I don't know what user made that transaction. I can go back here, in here, go to edit, and say, bring a comma here, and say in the users table, go and pick the username. So it means that I'm picking everything from the order table, and I'll go to the users table and pick the username from there. When I hit go here again, it will tell me that these are the information we got from the orders table. And you can see at the back here, I've added the information from the users table. I can move it over here, so I can even move it and come and put it here. And then we can see that, oh, this order, John Doe's, oh, he came and bought this thing on this day too, this day too. Can we see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are there any questions?
No, sir, I don't think there is.
Let's continue. By the way, let me re-say what I said, that all the things we are doing, they are in a slide in which I sent to you 2 weeks ago. It's all there, each one explaining what they are, why they are, and so on and so forth. So those of you keep asking me, say, go over. And 2 weeks ago, one kind, let me get the end. This one, if I by mistake sent you people the examination questions, by now you have not read.
It's a very ready.
Oh, intro.
Yeah,
We cry one kind.
Yeah.
Now it's one question of the kind.
Try.
I have tried. You didn't do. So let's not even go there.
Just pose the other questions. Maybe
If I pose the questions, how would you know? How do you even not know that at the end of this slide, I have put a question there that is coming in the exam? How would you know?
Oh, the question there, we see some for the
Jami Israel. This student.
Charlie, guys,
Jake, ask for the questions.
Why are you asking for questions? The one that is even there, you didn't read. So if I send questions,
ask for questions.
if I send questions to you and I actually put it in this, will you read to even get it? Hey, anyway, let's do one more of the join, and we can leave the joining alone. So over here, I'm going to select from oi.org, product name, then let me do oi.org, p dot product underscore name. And I'm selecting from the orders table, the order items table, in which I'm calling OI, and I'm joining the products table, in which I'm calling P, on oi.product ID being equal to p.product ID. But I am selecting information where the order ID, the order items order ID is equal to 1. So I'm selecting information from where the order ID information is 1. If you are very observant, you realize that the one I typed, I didn't put it in any double quotes. Why did I not put the one in any double quotes? But I put the information we have here, the password, and then the email, I put them in double quotes. Because this other ID here is an integer-based data type column. So it means the information one here is an integer, so we don't need a double quote. The other one is a string-based column, so it has to be in a single quote or a double quote. Other than that, it will flag as an error. So over here, when I come and I run this query again, this query should tell me the order items ID, the order ID, the product ID, the quantity of items the person purchased, the price of an item, and also the product in which he bought. So you can see that this is how this is the beginnings of the backend. This is how you fetch information. You buy things online, you put to cart, you fetch from cart, you generate your bill, you generate your receipt. This is how it is done. This is how the information in the database is collected and shown to you. Are we clear on that?
Yes, sir.
So in the slide in which I gave you people, I have multiple queries over there. Queries that tell you about from the top, we have select all, then what is the join keyword, then examples of the join, then we have something we call left join. Left join allows you to join items on the left-hand side of a particular table. Join, you people have, how do I say this? You people know sets, right? Sets.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And you have done the Venn diagram. It's called a Venn diagram, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yes, I've gotten an example of the Venn diagram. So let me see if I can show you the Venn diagram. Okay, great. So let me show you this. Great. So over here, I have a Venn diagram. So here we have A, B, right? Now, the place that is green, okay, that is what we call that is where the cursor, can you see the cursor going up and down? The green spot you have here, that is the join. So when I say join, this is what I'm joining. So I'll take one table, take another table. Where they meet in the middle here is what we call join. Now, if I take a table like this, the side that is white, are we okay? Now, the white space between them, let's say, for example, since I can't get it, let's say here is shaded. The side that is white alone, that is on this side, that does not include the circle A. This side is what we call the left join. So with that one, we are looking at a scenario whereby I want information on only one side of the table. If you have any connection with the other table, I don't want to have you there. For example, if I want to know how many students have not registered for the semester, then I'll use left join because their intersection will show me how many students have registered. The left join will show me how many students who have not what registered. So an example of a query which uses left join, I've done it here for you. So you can see that this query returns all product names from the products table where there is no match of record found in the orders table. So here we can see, for example, all the products that have not sold well in your company. So if this electronic shop wants to know, okay, for this month, what product did no one buy? This is how they'll find out what products no one bought in their whole month. Are we okay with that? Also, we have the group by. Now, the group by is a very important tool when it comes to databasing. It allows you to group things together, and it goes with aggregate functions. Aggregate functions are over here, where I have the count, max, min, sum, and average. So if I want to count, I want to find the maximum, I want to find the minimum, I want to find the sum of something, I want to find the average of a certain group of something, I will use these functions to find them, and they normally go with the group by. So for example, if I want to know how many males are in GCTU doing computer engineering, I can know that by using the group by male, and then I will add the count so that it can count all groups of male. So the group by is normally used with the aggregate function, and we can see an example over here whereby I have select all IDs and sum up the quantities in which they have been sold as total products. So let's highlight this again. Let me highlight this code. Let me run this code so that it shows you what I am talking about. So I go and click on edit. I paste it here. Good. So, oh, sorry, I selected the thing I have in there already. So let me select this. Let me come back here. Let me highlight this and paste it there. Oh, 1 second again. Control, click here. So control copy. Let me come back here. Highlight and paste. Okay. So here is the query. The query is saying that select order ID. Sum up the quantity of the order for that ID as total products from the order items table. Remember that order items table is taking each transaction you did for the order. So everything you bought 111, we are doing those calculations separately in the order items table. So this will tell us for every item, what is the total quantity you purchased. That's fine. When I press go, over here, I'll get for the order ID 1, the person purchased 2 products, this one 2, this one 2, this one 2, so on and so forth. Now, let's watch this very well. Over here, you are summing up the quantity table. That means that if I do not bring this word here as total products, if I remove this as total products here, the computer will tell you that, press go, that this is order ID and sum quantity, because this here is a sum quantity. So the as total that we put over there, the job of it, the job of the as word, the as keyword here, this job is to tell the computer that the column name refer to it as what I am typing. So here, if I say what I am typing, for example, and I press go, it means that the column name here will be what I am typing. So sometimes you would pick some piece of information, but you want to give it a name that you can remember that, okay, this piece of information is this. This piece of information is for that. So for example, this order IDs table, I can rename it. So I can select it as order ID. But for me, refer to it as, let's say, items or underscore on underscore receipt. Let me just say receipt like this. And let me say go. So you realize that for the first one, you have items on the receipts, and then here you have this, so that you know what is there. Of course, this is not items on receipt, but this is a receipt number. But I'm just using an example to show you how the as is used to display things onto your screen. Are there any questions?
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah.
In case you are new to an organization, and then how will you know that there is a table called this, there is a table called this before you start to do that task?
Wonderful. So the organization will give you the database schema. So the organization in question will send you the database schema. That is why at the beginning of this lecture, we started out by learning entities and how to draw entities and so on and so forth. So the organization will send you their database structure, how it works, the number of tables is in, the ER diagram of the table. So for example, the organization will look for the designer view here. Let me zoom out. And then the organization will send you their ER diagram. So over here, this is the ER diagram, right? So here I have the ER diagram. This diagram tells me that, oh, for this organization, they have categories table, and the categories table is connected to the products table, and the products table is connected to the orders table. The orders table is connected to orders, and orders is connected to users. In the users table, this is what is there. In the categories table, this is what is there. In the products table, this is what is there. To be honest with you, in your exam, I'll give you this table, and I'll tell you that I want to know so and so and so and so. Write the query to do that. And you should be able to write the query to do that. There is a reason why we learned entities, relationships. Remember our lessons. We learned entities, we learned relationships, how to draw the entity diagram, how to show relationships, how to show this is one-to-many. If you are very observant, you realize that here we can see the one-to-many relationships, the many-to-one relationships, all of those things. There is a reason why we did all of those things. So the organization will give you this. Before you even start work as a database administrator, the IT person will have a document that has the systems this is even connected to, and then how the table is structured and all of that before you start work as your data analysis or database engineer or whatever data unit you have to use. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So ladies and gentlemen, again, in the slide, all the queries are there. I've written each one. I've explained them nicely for you. By the way, we can have a query in a query. So we have a query here, and in this query, we have another query. When you go and try them, experiment with them, that is why I sent you the database. But I know that my students, as for my students, they have thrown it away. You see, so I'm not even annoyed, to be honest with you. I know you, I know you very well. I know that your teacher sent you the thing, but you are busy, you are workers, you don't have time, and all of those things in which comes with the work you do, and all of those things is true. You are very, very busy. And I'm not annoyed. So what I'm doing again is that I am resending you the database file again, okay? So I'm resending you the database file, what I'm using to do the testing, and I'll type the query then to come and all of those things. I have put it in your group again. To be honest with you, I am even sending you the slide again for what we are doing now. I am forwarding it to you again so that you can have the slide too. So this slide, I'm forwarding it to you again. And then I will send you the video so that you can at least know how to import the database again. Because I know I've taught you that, but it's not a big deal. I'll send it again for you to have it again. And I am hoping that this time you will try it again. Are we okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are much grateful. We are grateful.
Thank you, sir. You do all.
The day students have already done their test on this thing here. So you people have a test in which you have to do. And luckily for the day students, they didn't get a heads up. You are getting a heads up, which means that somewhere during the weekend, you will do the test. So you have from now to the weekend to learn it. Somewhere in the weekend, I will send you a link, and for 30 minutes, you just answer the questions and you are done. Is that clear? Most definitely, it will be a Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Now, another thing that the students are doing is they are writing code. We are developing a small web application that will take information from the front end and then give it to the users in the back end. So we've designed a web page, and we are going to we've designed a web page, and we are going to connect the web page to the backend, so that you can see how a developer utilizes the database and then connects with the database. Are we okay? So it means that when we meet again, we will try and do that. That means we also have to have another meeting. Actually, we have to have another meeting before our meeting next week by this time, so that we can do that one. Then that meeting will do the connection of the database together. Because when I meet them this week, we will do that connection of the database together. Then that means for them, we have one more class where we can discuss database policies, backup, security, so on and so forth. We will have one class for that. Then you will have your revision week, in which I will not come, and then you go and write your exam. So if we don't have that one class before that one, or for you, we have to have an additional class so that we can use one class to do the designing of the database, and then do the joining of the database to the application. Do you understand? It would have been best if we did this in person, to be honest, because if you write the code and you have an error and so on and so forth. But if we can't have it and we have to have it on Zoom, we'll have it on Zoom. It's not a very big deal. But as I said, we need to have one more session where we can have that done. If we can't have it done, to be honest, it will not come in the exam. But it is just to help you people visualize how a system and a database communicate and work together. So discuss with your class rep and let me know what you decide. It won't come in the exam. Are we okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Which one is coming?
Pardon? Pardon? I didn't hear the last thing the person said.
He's asking which of the questions are coming.
Oh, everything. Everything is coming. But I put some video in your classroom. Didn't you watch the video?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. You've taught for 12 weeks. There is no need to give areas.
Oh, let me put a video inside the classroom again. Don't worry. I'm resending the video so that
there's no need.
There is a need. There is, if someone has not seen it, there is a need. Let me put it there.
There's no need.
I put it there. Don't worry. It's there. You can watch the video again. That video says everything in which I have to tell you about area. Don't worry. It's there.
Could they give you from yourself?
Do you people?
You have to consider how small. Read the evening. You have to consider how small.
I have to consider the evening people there. Your degree, when you get it, do they write there? This person, he's a weekend, so consider him for job. Do they write that there? When you get your certificate, do they write there acquire no a weekend with your brain? Do they write something like that?
They have to help us.
I didn't know that when you get your certificate, they write there, Charlie, the age this guy finished the school year, Charlie, it was hard for him. Do they write something like that there?
Right,
equal, so we are treated equally. For me, they will treat you equally. So that is that. Anyway, please, I beg you, and this one I am begging you. And this one I am begging you. You must practice. If you don't practice, you will not be good at this. You must practice. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
And I know you are not practicing, because if you were practicing, you'll be contacting me more than how you wait when it is time for the class. You say, we have class. Because a break, we want some more break.
So, this time around, the pressure on us to even submit proposal for final exams and all that is.
No, you said the pressure is too high.
The pressure is too much. You see, when I hear that from students, sometimes I feel bad for you, but sometimes I do not. Because you, the student, you knew that you do project work this semester. So by now, you should have looked for a topic. Or you disagree? The students too, they were with me this morning. They're all looking for topic. You know you have to do project work. You know. No one has to tell you have to do project work. You are in level 300, you're about to finish, project work is coming. You have to start looking for a topic. To be honest, the day you started school, that day is the day you started looking for a topic. You have waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. And now that they are asking you for topic, someone says he wants to do a restaurant system so that he can, whenever the waiter comes and takes the order, then he tell you that the order has been taken, then the food will fly in the air and come and fall on the table. When you own to me, yes, also, the okay. And most of you, the topics in which you go and mention over there, remember one thing, you must do it. Anyway, as I always say, God is there for us. So there is no pressure. The school, if you want to go, you want to finish, and you want to finish with a high grade, and you want to show everybody in this world that I went to school, I learned something, and whatever I learned, I'm using it to the best of my ability to make money or to improve people's lives or to change a life or to make an impact in this world. Nothing that is of that valuable comes easy. Nothing that is valuable comes easy. If it is not valuable, it comes cheap. And anything which comes cheap, the end is no good. Whenever you watch people, and this my grandfather taught me this, whenever you watch people, do not watch their beginning, because their beginning is always sweet. Watch their end. Their end will tell them, their end will tell you if they lived a good life or a bad life. Their end, not their beginning. When they, for example, when they die and they are going there, when you are walking around the funeral, the things people say, Aqua will not, you're corrupt, Aqua will not, you're correct, Aqua will. The things people say about you is what we watch. Of course, in this life, you enjoy, you have all the money, you do your kululu, whatever you are enjoying, you're having 10 cars and 15 girlfriends and all of those things in which you will do. That's fine. But in the end, when you're in the hospital, you realize that all the 15 girlfriends will not be there. Probably no one will be there for you. You realize that all your cars, people will come and take them and be driving, and probably you cannot even drive a car anymore. Life is about making an impact. So weekend, no weekend, day, not day, morning, no morning, whatever you are, you must make an impact. Don't let that opportunity leave you. Don't finish school and you now have to go and learn again. And the most school now certificate course. Those kind of things. Don't be one of those people. It is hard, but one Saturday, if you sit down and do research, you finish. It is hard, But if you push yourself and finish now, after school, you don't have to learn again. Then you can move on to the next phase. Enjoyment or looking for a job or starting your own company or doing whatever you have to do. We are workers. So that's why I'm talking to you as workers. Because some of you here, we all have that lie. We tell ourselves that, oh, we just want a certificate. And when you get a certificate, the same job in which you are doing and you don't like is what you are using the certificate to go and continue that same job. And you can't progress in that job because you can't do anything. So why don't you learn something so that when you go to the job, then you change some one or two things. See, Charlie, Peter go the class camp. What the IT thing he can't do? I don't see before. Then everybody will say that Peter is such a great worker.
Yes.
Peter Fioko. Peter is such a great worker. So when Peter went to school and he came back, he changed ABCD. So Peter, we have to increase his pay, or he has to be the manager of something. But if the same thing you are doing is the same thing you went to school and came back and you are doing, and you want higher pay, why do you want higher pay? Will you pay yourself higher? Anyway, that is food for thought. Please, I'm begging you, practice the codes, paste them, type them, change some things, remove some things, see how they come. IT is all about practice. Make some calls. Oh, sir, I tried this, it didn't work. I want to do this, it didn't work. But in any case, the Saturday morning, your test will drop. So make sure you practice before Saturday morning. Anyway, if you have no other questions, enjoy your evening. We'll meet again. Discuss with your class rep how we are going to do it, and we'll meet again in our next meeting. As always, I'll make the video available to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Project no mon candy mube yo. Man can't go Trandrobia unto yo. Bye bye.
Sir, can you drop us?
Drone, I can deliver you.
Oh yeah, you go video. That's the best project. Oh no, actually, even if you say you are going to do food, that is too long. You can say you want to do a drone that would supply memos from the main campus to the business campus every day. Abrantie, myself, ideas never.
Why
we are not running to one over. Bye bye.
Bye bye.